Well, in our previous lesson, we just learned how to record a very simple macro and how to run it back. We're going to do a couple more just for a little practice and make them a little bit more interesting. We're going to do a macro that shows and hides specific worksheets. So what we're going to do is look at the next couple of tabs here. We're going to start off with hiding worksheets. We've got one worksheet tab here called Public Information. And what this sheet has is some sales figures for our sales team, Dave and Barbara and Jack and Sue. That's something we might want everybody to see. But then we have a worksheet tab for each of our salespeople that has some private information, their address, sales, the amount of commission, and as you'll see, Barbara makes a little less commission than Dave does, so we don't want them seeing each other's figures that way. Okay, well, let's start recording our macro to hide these tabs then. We'll go, like we did in our first example, and go to the View menu and Macros, and go to Record Macro. And now, we're going to fill in our dialog box. We're going to give our macro a name, and we're going to call it Hide Private Worksheets. Make sure it's set to this workbook. We're not going to assign it a shortcut key this time, or write the description. And we'll click OK. Now we're going to move to our first worksheet if you're not already there, private information for Dave. And we're going to hide this worksheet. From the Home ribbon, we're going to go select Format, and then go down to Visibility and Hide, and we're going to hide the sheet. Okay? That's the way to do it from the ribbons. And we hid Dave's sheet. Now for Barbara, we're going to hide her worksheet as well. This time, let's just right-click on her worksheet tab and click Hide. It's a little faster. So we'll hide the other two using either method. I'm going to go ahead and do the right-click and click Hide because that's just a little easier. Now we'll stop recording the macro. Previous example, we went back to the View ribbon. Well, when you're recording a macro, this little box appears down here. This little square in the lower left hand corner tells you you're recording a macro. You can just click that to stop recording the macro. Okay, so we've gotten our macro to hide all our worksheets. Now we have to build a macro to unhide all the worksheets. Okay, so we're going to have to continue and record another macro. So let's go to the View menu again in Macros, and we'll record a macro. And this time we're going to call our macro Show Private Worksheets. And click OK. From the Home ribbon, let's go to the Format button under Cells. Go to Hide and Unhide, and we're going to unhide a sheet. So unhide Dave's sheet. And click OK. Now I'm going to right-click, and I could go unhide another sheet. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to stop recording this macro. Okay? Now, I've only made visible Dave's sheet again. There's 3 other sheets. What we're going to do is we're going to go look at what VBA recorded and modify it. Believe it or not, this is a way that many people, even seasoned VBA programmers, get started. They'll record a macro to get the proper syntax and get the format the right way, and then go in and mod it or modify or edit the code to make it do what they want. So that's the approach we're going to take in finishing out our Show Private Worksheets macro. So to do that, let's go to our View menu, click Macros, and we'll go to View Macros. And then we're going to go to the Show Private Worksheets macro. Instead of clicking Run, we're going to click Edit. And this is going to bring up the Visual Basic editing environment. And I will resize my window. Okay. And we will get into modifying this in the next video.